Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the game design series. Now the first 2 episodes were sort of an overview. It gave you an idea of some of the different challenges that you'd need to face when you're going to create a board game, or a card game, or a dice game, and a kind of game where you're going to sit down at a table or something with other people or alone and play it. Now we're going to get into the nuts and bolts, step by step. So the first thing you are going to need, the very first thing you're going to need, not boxes, not parts, not even rules. First thing you're going to need is an idea. Now, an idea is not just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to create a game? No, you're looking at something like, let's say, I want a thing where people move their pieces around a board where there's different properties that they can buy and sell, and somebody's going to come out the winner. I think you figure out from that idea what I'm talking about. Or, I want a game where I deal out cards to people and they look at the cards and they make sets based on that, and when they get rid of all the cards in their hand, they win. I want to make a game about making films where people, get the cast and the crew and the locations and everything together to make a movie. Or I want to make a game where there's going to be mining and refining of minerals, and you got to manage resources while you're doing some area control on the moon. That's an idea. And that's the first thing you're going to need. Once you've got your idea, then you can start fleshing it out with all the other things. Step number 2. We're going to cover 2 steps in this particular episode. The second step is the concept. Now, I know some of you language purists are saying, wait a minute, the idea and the concept, aren't they the same thing? In this case, no. The idea is sort of just a general, wouldn't it be cool to make this? The concept is pretty much your first draft of this. First draft of your rules document. The concept is going to change. It's going to change a lot. But the biggest thing you're going to get from the concept is an idea of what you're going to need to create the game. What pieces you're going to need. Are you going to need cards? You're going to need a game board. Are you going to need pen and paper to keep track of everything? We're not going to get into the sections of a rule book that we will cover later. Right now in the concept, you just want to start jotting things down. Now, for an example, we're going to take another one. Here's the idea. I want a bunch of scientist hunter type guys to gather up a bunch of equipment and then jump in a time machine, go back to the past and hunt dinosaurs and bring them back. It's called Dino Hunter. And you can check it out there. It's not finished yet. I'm still working on it. Hence the design series. You guys get in on the process. You start jotting things down like, okay, they need to collect equipment like stun guns and nets and things like that. So I need a pile of cards that are going to be equipment. That's going to be the easiest way. Okay, what else would they need? Well, they might need like vehicles and stuff like that. Okay, well maybe that would be another pile, different. Like one pile would be like guns. Another would be equipment. And then another one could be like traps, like big things to catch. I mean, it's a dinosaur, pretty big. They're going to need some specialized stuff to catch them with. Okay, so we're going to need those. Those are 3 different types of things that they could collect. So how do they collect them? Okay, they're scientists, they're in their lab, they're working on the stuff, and they get a call on their cell phone, Okay, so maybe if I had like some cell phone pictures on the board and the guys could put their piece, I need game pieces for each guy, and they could put them on the cell phone and say, I'm answering that particular phone and getting the stuff that's on that one. Okay, so we got some ideas. That was stuff we're going to have on the board, okay? We don't want them to do it forever. We don't want them to just keep going, collecting equipment until every time they've got the best stuff. And we want it to scale for the number of players. So we're going to need a timer. Say, I don't know, like for just easy, like 10 rounds. And the different number of players will change where you start on it. So the more players you have, which means the more stuff you have access to in one round, the less time you should get to collect that stuff, right? That sort of makes sense. Let's see if that can work. Okay, so what else do they need? They need a way to sort of check what's going to happen in the past, because maybe there's going to be a flood, or maybe there's going to be a mudslide, or maybe the dinosaurs are going to stampede, or something like that. Those could be like events that happened in the past. So I need a deck of events. Okay, what else do we need? Okay, what else could we do in this game? Okay, that seems kind of cool there. And that gives them so we need to have enough phones that there'll be 2 more than the number of players. So if I said let's say maximum player 6, that seems like a good number. You're probably not often going to get 6 players around the board, but it should work down to 1 because it's a cooperative game. So 1 to 6. You got to remember the single player if you're making a co-op game, because sometimes people play them solo. Check around the net. You'll find people who play board games solo. That's what they do. So your single player version needs to be just as good as your 6-player version. Anyway, so if I have 2 more phones than that, that means there's going to always be things they can't choose. So there's going to be some sort of to it, because, well, we need weapons, but we also need to check this. That's what you need to do. You need to make it so that there's more things to do than they can do. So there's always that urgency, and there's always that missed opportunities. Okay, we're going to have them go back to the past, to like an area. So if we have a map with cards that make up the map, so the map is different every time, and they're all face down, and they could use, maybe one of their phones is using their temporal stuff to see some of the map, and they flip it over early so they can get an idea of where they're going to go, where they're going to land. Yeah, that's another. Okay, yeah, put that in there. Now I have some cards up there. Okay, so see, with all this crazy babbling that I'm doing, we're getting an idea of how the game board is going to be laid out, what things we need, and sort of what actual physical resources, like cards and chits and pencils and other cards and stuff. All that stuff that we might need to make this game. So second part of this game is they're going to go to the past. Okay, so when the timer hits 0, they go to the past, whether they're ready or not. Okay, they're all going to... I want them all to be different. I don't want them to be just 6 same. So we're going to need character cards for everybody. Okay, so we need character cards. So we need to set those up. And places for them to put their equipment or stuff on the cards so they know what they have. And keep track of their health and their armor. And if they have any special abilities, we're going to put those on there. And we also need player aids to remind them of all this stuff, because there's probably not going to be room on the board to write it. You start noting this stuff down in your concepts. So then when we get back to the past, what do? Well, they've got a vehicle. Oh, we're going to need a little vehicle, little car token to drive around. Okay, so they land one place on the map. And then we got to put dinosaurs on the map. How are we going to put dinosaurs on the map? Okay, we're going to have only so many dinosaurs. We're going to have small and medium herbivores, small and medium carnivores, and a large herbivore or carnivore that will be the main goal. Yeah, that's the main goal. The big one is the one you want. The other one's like, if you get him, you get him. If you don't, you don't. And we're also going to have plant and mineral samples. Yeah, so if you're not after a dinosaur, you could hunt for a plant or something instead. At least you're doing so. You're not just sitting there watching, because I hate when you just sit there and watch. Yeah, everybody wants to be engaged. You want them all engaged in the game. You want it to be something that everybody's, oh my God, through the game. What else are we going to need? Okay, we're going to need cards representing all the different dinosaurs. A deck of the herbivores and the carnivores, small, medium, and the large ones. And then we're going to need a way to fight them. So that's probably going to have room on that card. We're going to need more cards for a fight chart table thing that we go. And we're going to need multiples of those, because we have 6 players. They might be fighting 3 or 4 dinosaurs at the same time. So we need a lot of those. It needs to scale based on the different number of players and different size of dinosaur and stuff like that. Okay, we need those. And then what else do we need? We need the vehicle that you can put the dinosaurs that you capture into. Okay, yeah. But how do we get the dinosaurs on the map? What are we going to do for that? Okay, you need to draw them randomly. Draw them out of a bag. Yeah, draw them out like tokens. Those round tokens that they have that you put stickers on both sides. We'll put them in a bag, and you just pull one out, and it goes in whatever space you're looking at that time, and you put it in there, and you put the little figure that is representing the dinosaur in there. Okay, and the dinosaurs need to be numbered. All the figures need to be numbered 1 to whatever. So when you do the part where the dinosaurs move, you do them in the number order that they are. And we need to have something like the herbivores move, and then the carnivores can attack any herbivores that are near them. And, and the carnivores might attack the people if they're in range and stuff like that. And we're going to use the timer again. We'll give them the full 10 turns no matter how many players, because this part's going to be harder. Then when it ticks down, we'll have maybe marks on it and so on. A dinosaur comes out here, dinosaur comes out here, dinosaur comes out here, or that sort of thing. So there's always dinosaurs on the island for them to grab. And then when the time hits 0, back to the present. But let's make it harder. There's a specific point where they came into the past. They have to get to that point to come back to the future. If they don't get there, they're dino chow. So there, very rapidly described in a very manic style, obviously, is the concept for Dino Hunter. Now you would take that, write it all down, type it up in a computer, however, look at it, and start organizing those points into where they need to be. okay, you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this, and then you do that. Put them all out and start maybe even sketching rough idea of what the board or the cards or the different pieces are going to look like. You are ready to start writing your rules document, getting a first draft of that, because that's what the concept basically is. But even better, you write this concept out, you get everything as good as you think it's going to be right now, all the things, everything you can think of for right now. And then you take that and you put it into a PDF or you print it out and you give it to any gamer friends you can get to sit still to read it. And you have them look it over. And you want to hear things like, this doesn't make sense. Okay, we need to fix the wording in that or fix how it is. I'd love to play this game. When do you get that? You really want to hear that people are already interested in the game. So there is basically what you need to start. You need the idea, and then you flesh the idea out into the concept. And in the next episode, we're going to take the concept and start making the rules document from that, which gives you all the different pieces and parts that you're going to need for making the different mechanics. So that's what we'll cover in the next episode, making the mechanics happen. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are finding this interesting. Leave a comment, subscribe, like, +1, do all the things to make this video, rate it up, just send it to all your friends, put it on Reddit, do all that stuff to make everybody watch it. And see you next time.